Hello, fighter of shadows. Do you know what is more terrifying than the enemies outside? The enemy who lives inside you, the one who hides behind your own reflection, that silent judge staring back at you every morning, whispering doubts, feeding your insecurities, making you believe you are not enough. Today we face him. Today we talk about the one battle no one else can fight for you, the battle against the enemy in the mirror. Think about it. Out there you can confront rivals, critics, and obstacles, but none of them have the power to sabotage your destiny as efficiently as that inner voice that tells you, don't even try. It is a cunning opponent because it knows your fears, your weaknesses, your failures. It knows every secret you carry, every mistake you regret, every dream you buried, and it knows exactly when to attack. Not when you are strong, but when you are tired. Not when you are winning, but right before you start. Most people never recognize this enemy. They think life is cruel, society unfair, or luck simply against them. But the truth, the brutal, naked truth, is that the harshest chains are the ones we place on ourselves. And once you see this, once you dare to admit that the figure in the mirror is both the jailer and the prisoner, something powerful happens. You take back control. Let me give you an image. Imagine an athlete standing at the starting line. The crowd is roaring, the cameras are ready. But inside there is silence, a storm of doubt. His legs are strong, his body prepared. But if his mind whispers, you can't, the race is already lost before the gun fires. That is the mirror in action. It does not need to touch you physically. It conquers you mentally. And if you let it, it will keep winning over and over again. But here is the twist. The same mirror that reflects your weaknesses also reflects your strength. The same eyes that accuse you can also remind you of your greatness. That enemy does not have to be your executioner. It can become your ally. Yet first, you must learn to confront it, to strip away its lies, to see yourself not as fragile, but as unbreakable. Now let's dig deeper into why that reflection is so dangerous and why most people never escape its grip. Every time you stand in front of that mirror, you are not just looking at your face, your body, or your appearance. You are staring into the battlefield of your own mind. And here's the trap. The mirror doesn't only show you reality, it projects your interpretation of reality. If you believe you are weak, you will see weakness. If you believe you are broken, you will see cracks. The mirror is not glass, it is a weapon, and the way you hold it decides whether it cuts you or builds you. Think about the moments when you doubted yourself the most. Maybe you wanted to speak up in class, start a project, or take a risk that could change everything. But then you caught that reflection, the hesitation, the insecurity, the little voice saying, "Who do you think you are?" That moment is not about the world stopping you. It is about you stopping yourself. And this is where the paradox lives. Your greatest enemy knows your potential better than anyone else. That's why it attacks you. The mirror doesn't fight those who have no chance. It fights those who are destined for more. If you were ordinary, the enemy inside wouldn't bother. The fact that you feel that resistance means there is something extraordinary about you, something worth sabotaging. Let me tell you a story. There was once a young man who wanted to conquer the highest peak near his village. Every day he trained his body. Every day he dreamed of standing on the summit. But whenever he looked at the mountain, fear grew. It's too high, too dangerous. I'm not ready. But here's the secret. What paralyzed him wasn't the mountain, but his own reflection in the stream at its base. The real climb was never on the rocks. It was inside his mind. That's the truth of your mirror. It is not showing you who you are. It is showing you who you believe you are. And the danger is that if you accept that version blindly, you will live small, think small, and die with your potential untouched. But if you challenge it, if you dare to say, "I see you, but I choose differently," then suddenly the mirror shifts. It becomes not your cage, but your training ground. The transformation begins with awareness. Most people never question the mirror. They simply accept its judgment as truth. But the moment you realize that the reflection is negotiable, you gain leverage. You are no longer a prisoner of perception. You become the architect of it. Here's the first step. Catch the lie. The enemy in the mirror thrives on repetition. It tells you the same poison over and over until you believe it. You're not smart enough. You're not strong enough. You're not worthy. If you let those words echo unchecked, they become chains. But the instant you confront them, when you look into your own eyes and whisper back, "Prove it," you shatter the illusion. Imagine standing before your reflection and refusing to blink. The face staring back begins to look nervous, unsettled, as if it knows its power is slipping. Because the enemy only wins when you don't fight back. Silence is its weapon. Awareness is yours. Let's be clear. This isn't about faking confidence or pretending everything is fine. It's about taking ownership. Every scar, every mistake, every failure. That is not proof of weakness, but of survival. The mirror will try to remind you of the times you fell, but it will conveniently forget to show you how you stood up again. You must remind it. You must remind yourself. Think of the greatest champions in history. Do you really believe they never doubted themselves? Of course they did. But the difference was this. They refused to let the mirror decide their future. They learned to see the same reflection differently, not as an accusation, but as a challenge, a silent dare to rise higher than yesterday. And here's a perspective most people miss. Your mirror is not your enemy because it hates you. It is your enemy because it reflects your fears. Those fears are not there to destroy you. They are there to be conquered. They are signals of where your power is waiting. Now, once you begin to see the mirror as a test instead of a trap, everything changes. You stop running from it. You stop fearing it. Instead, you face it day after day until the reflection that once tried to break you becomes the very force that forges you. But here lies the hardest part. Consistency. The mirror will not surrender after one battle. It will return every morning, every night, waiting for you to slip. The question is, will you show up again, ready to fight? And this is where most people give up. They win a single day, maybe even a week, but then the mirror strikes back stronger, whispering in new ways, disguising itself as logic, as realism, even as humility. It tells you, don't aim too high, you'll only be disappointed. Stay safe, stay small. That's enough for you. And because it sounds reasonable, most surrender, but you are not most people. If you were, you wouldn't even be here listening. You wouldn't care about growth or truth or mastery of self. That's why your fight is different, because you've already seen the enemy, and now you cannot unsee it. You can't go back to ignorance. You can only move forward or remain stuck, knowing exactly why you are stuck. And that awareness, though heavy, is power. Consistency against the mirror means discipline. Not the kind of discipline people preach as punishment, but the kind that becomes your weapon. Waking up each morning and confronting your reflection with intention. Not avoiding it, not rushing past it, but pausing, looking into your own eyes and deciding, today I am the master. Today I will not bow. Think of it like training a wild animal. At first it resists, claws, bites. But over time, if you remain firm, it begins to respect you. Eventually it serves you. Your reflection works the same way. If you stand before it every day with clarity and courage, it will start to shift, to mirror back not just your fears, but your strength, your resilience, your progress. Here's a secret. The mirror doesn't need to become your friend. Friendship is optional, respect is not. You must earn the respect of your own reflection, and you earn it not with words but with actions, by keeping promises to yourself, by doing the work no one else sees, by rising every time you fall. When you do this consistently, the reflection changes. It no longer mocks you, it acknowledges you. But be warned, this transformation is not comfortable. The mirror will resist until the very end, because its mission is to test whether you are truly ready to rise. And every time you conquer a fear, every time you silence a doubt, it will present you with a new one, stronger, sharper, more cunning. That is not a punishment. It is proof that you are evolving. The real danger is not the enemy in the mirror. It's forgetting that the enemy exists. That's when it wins silently, without you even noticing. But once you see it clearly, once you commit to facing it daily, you turn the mirror into your most powerful teacher. Its purpose was never to destroy you, it was to awaken you. The mirror is the oldest test in human history, the silent witness of every transformation. It shows you who you are today, but more importantly, it dares you to become who you could be tomorrow. And here lies the secret most ignore. The reflection is not fixed. It bends, it adapts, it evolves with you. What you see is not destiny, it is feedback. Imagine a blacksmith forging a blade. Every strike of the hammer creates sparks. Every blow shapes the metal, but the metal resists until it finally gives in and transforms. Your reflection works the same way. Each time you confront it, each time you refuse to surrender to its lies, you are hammering yourself into something sharper, stronger, unstoppable. And yet, most people run from this process. They avoid mirrors, avoid silence, avoid looking too deeply into their own eyes. Why? Because they are afraid of what they might see. Afraid to discover that the life they're living is far smaller than the life they're capable of. But you are not like them. You wouldn't still be here if you were. You are the type who stares back, who does not flinch, who asks, "What else am I hiding from myself?" That question alone separates you from the ordinary. The mirror is brutal, yes, but it is honest. It does not care about excuses, about what others think of you, about what you plan to do someday. It only reflects what is real right now. And in that honesty lies the key to freedom. Because once you accept the truth of your reflection, you gain the power to change it. Think about this. Every legend, every conqueror, every great leader faced the same glass. They all woke up to doubts, to fears, to flaws staring back at them. The difference? They refused to let the mirror win. They turned those doubts into fuel, those flaws into fire. And what once felt like an enemy became the proof of their own evolution. Its purpose was never to destroy you. It was to awaken you. The mirror is the oldest test in human history, the silent witness of every transformation. It shows you who you are today, but more importantly, it dares you to become who you could be tomorrow. And here lies the secret most ignore. The reflection is not fixed. It bends, it adapts, it evolves with you. What you see is not destiny, it is feedback. Imagine a blacksmith forging a blade. Every strike of the hammer creates sparks. Every blow shapes the metal, but the metal resists until it finally gives in and transforms. Your reflection works the same way. Each time you confront it, each time you refuse to surrender to its lies, you are hammering yourself into something sharper, stronger, unstoppable. And yet most people run from this process. They avoid mirrors, avoid silence, avoid looking too deeply into their own eyes. Why? Because they are afraid of what they might see, afraid to discover that the life they're living is far smaller than the life they're capable of. But you are not like them. You wouldn't still be here if you were. You are the type who stares back, who does not flinch, who asks, "What else am I hiding from myself?" That question alone separates you from the ordinary. The mirror is brutal, yes, but it is honest. It does not care about excuses, about what others think of you, about what you plan to do someday. It only reflects what is real right now. And in that honesty lies the key to freedom. Because once you accept the truth of your reflection, you gain the power to change it. Think about this. Every legend, every conqueror, every great leader faced the same glass. They all woke up to doubts, to fears, to flaws staring back at them. The difference? They refused to let the mirror win. They turned those doubts into fuel, those flaws into fire. And what once felt like an enemy became the proof of their own evolution. So now you understand, the greatest enemy you will ever face is not out there. It is in the mirror. It knows your fears, your doubts, your weaknesses, and it has used them against you for years. But you also know this, that same reflection holds your key to freedom. Because if you can defeat yourself, no one else can defeat you. The mirror will keep testing you again and again, but each battle is proof that you are meant for more. Every time you choose to rise, every time you look into your own eyes and declare, "I am not my fear, I am my strength," you rewrite the story of who you are. That is the path to mastery, not of the world, but of yourself. And when you finally realize that the reflection staring back at you is not your enemy, but your creation, you unlock the ultimate truth. You are not a prisoner of the mirror. You are the sculptor of it. From this moment on, you are no longer at war with your reflection. You are in command of it. But here's the challenge. Will you let this video end and return to the same old pattern? Or will you step in front of your mirror tonight and begin the fight that will change everything? That decision is yours, and it will define your future. If this message struck something deep inside you, if it woke up that fire you know you've been hiding, then don't let it fade. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and join this journey with us. Because this is not just a video, it's a call to battle, and your enemy is waiting for you in the mirror.